Welcome back to the final installment of the successful difficult run in our effort to get the True Survivor trophy in Oregon Trail. This is the penultimate run that I need to complete for the 100% in the game. You need to play the game a full 5 times. And here I'm looking at the combat trainer, and I think I'm going to come back to it because it doesn't look like I bought it yet, but I am going to do the combat training for faster movement, which is going to help us immensely in the last 2 stops that we have and in the finale where we have to, here I'm getting the faster movement. Oh, because I needed the money. I had to sell some things to get the money in order to be able to afford it. So what that is going to do on difficult and suicide difficulty, you have to you got to make sure you can move as fast as the zombies can, because you don't want to get overrun and you don't want them to be coming after you and to get the better of you. So we got that going after we already have been using money and medkit scavenger, which helps us every time we scavenge, which was pretty much the routine in every city. We would scavenge between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day that we were in a place where we could do that. We didn't do it on the road too often. I don't remember doing it at all in this run, but I may have done it once or twice, and I'm just not remembering it. If you also notice, we have 2 people in the crew who have been bitten by zombies, and I have been keeping them alive for quite a while. I think the second bite happened in the previous video, and I think Beta got bit first, and that was probably in the 2nd hour of the run, and it looks like Gamma got bit in the previous hour. So we want to keep as many people alive as we can as we head to Safe Haven, because once you get to Safe Haven, there is a mini game where you have to run out and collect 8 gas cans. If you've watched any of the other runs, you've seen it. It's the same for every run. But then following that, there is a special boss fight that only appears in difficult, and I don't know for sure, but I think Suicide might have a different boss fight. If not, then it's the same boss fight, but and you'll be seeing that in about 20 minutes from now. And I actually ran into a problem with that boss fight. Then I thought I totally blew the entire run because of one fatal error, but apparently I got away with it, and everything works out in the end. So as I was saying, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you keep as many crew members alive for that mini game where you have to run out and get the 8 cans of fuel, because if a zombie reaches you in your pursuit of running out, getting 2 cans and coming back to the generator and going back and forth and doing that, you'll lose a member of your team, and you'll start with the bottom member. So if you have all 4 of your passengers alive, you'll have 5 opportunities to go out and get the gas cans, come back, and what I mean is if each person you send out gets hit by a zombie, you have 5 lives basically. You have 5 chances to get out there, get all 8 gas cans, and you can grab 2 at a time and bring them back. So it should not take you all 5 lives, and I do it in 1 life in this run, but I have in previous runs on easy lost a few people just out of silly errors, because I think it's by the time you collect 4 or 6 of the gas cans, you get a new zombie that you haven't seen in this run yet, that leaves a trail of like green sludge, and those always kind of trip me up because I'm trying to avoid walking into it and get to my destination without harming my passenger or whoever. So having the most lives for that section is very useful. So keep that in mind. But I was also very tempted to allow the bitten passengers to turn into zombies so that they would bite me, because I still do need that trophy. But that sure would stink to throw away a difficult run if I got bit by a zombie and I couldn't make it to the finale. So we decided not to go for that in this run. We may... Oh, I got grabbed. We may go for that in the final run. The hope is I'm going to play this one more time on easy, and the hope is that I get the other 2 trophies that I need, which is I don't have it in front of me. I think it's life on the other side or something, if you get bit by a zombie. And the other one is for someone to die of dysentery, which, as I said in the second hour video, or maybe it was the first, I can't remember, I got it on my 3rd account when I played this just for fun. I got the dysentery trophy, but that is the trophy that I struggled with the most on my first playthrough on my main account on the Vita. It took forever to finally get someone to actually die of dysentery. So we may struggle to get that one, and that might end up having to be done offline, and then just I'll throw up the recording if it takes me too long to make it happen, if it doesn't happen in the next run. But well, yeah, we're gonna try to get bitten by a zombie, and we're gonna try to have someone die of dysentery in the next run. And if it means that I'll have to die and start a 6th run, so be it. At least we can have that on video, and you can see, the techniques that I use. There's not a lot of technique, especially with this game. There's so much luck based with the things that you need. There is a certain amount of skill to get through some things like these scavenges, and I was attacked again. Okay, there is skill involved, and I don't have it apparently. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that you need for this game could be very random. Whether or not you get them could be very luck based. So keep that in mind as you're going for your 100%, if you are happening to plan on playing this game. And remember, this was I did start this all because it's a Vita game that you can play on the PS4, obviously, because I'm using Share Factory to make these videos. But it is one of those great Vita games that I certainly had fun playing back in the day. And it's sorry to see that the store is going away during the summer. So it kind of inspired me to start playing a couple of these games to get them a little bit more exposure, in case they weren't big on people's lists. But this one, if you're seeing this after August, the good news is you can still play this on the PlayStation 4. And it's quite a fun game. As I've said in the past, I love these resource management, procedurally generated survival games. And I don't know why, I just eat them up. I love them. So yeah, we're gonna go about another 10 minutes left of this run, and you're gonna see me head out to the final destination. I'm pretty sure we're at the second to last city here. Of course, we are right here, I believe, and we'll see in a minute. I think I'm grabbing some car parts just to make sure. The only problem is, if you don't really pay good attention, you don't know how close you are to Safe Haven. So some of this stuff is completely unnecessary for me to spend money on. But at the same time, when you get to the final destination, money doesn't do you any good. The only thing, once you're at the final destination, that you need is ammo. Really, that's it. Because you can't use med kits once you get there and do the final boss, right? You can't, you're not going to rest up and use the food. You're not going to use the scrap for your car once you arrive there because you're there. You're not going to use fuel, so on and so forth. So none of this stuff matters once you reach the final destination. And so if you're leaving for the final destination, there's not a lot of need for doing what I'm doing here. But better safe than sorry. I am grabbing a couple things. Oh no, I'm not using the auto shop. I thought I was raising that money so I could buy some car parts. I must have done that in the previous stop, or we have one more stop to make. I don't know. We'll find out soon. I know that there's only about 10 more minutes. Oh, see, there's Safe Haven. Okay, so we are heading there. So yeah, in the end, that was kind of unnecessary. I didn't need to bulk up on too much. But it is 450 miles, so the fuel will definitely help us. The food will keep us all healthy. And the car parts, I don't remember if I had to use any car parts before we got there. Maybe right before our destination. So you can see, the two zombie-bitten passengers, their health declines a little faster than anybody else, than Kai on the bottom there. And we are ignoring any stops, any tombstones, because we just got the Deja Vu trophy in the last video. So we don't need to stop for anything. We just want to get to the final destination and get it over with. So, like I said, there's another probably 6 or 7 minutes left before we get to the final boss fight. And with the difficult run and the suicide run, the destinations are slightly different than your easy run. So, as I said, it was kind of hard to keep track of where I was and where I was going. See here, super dysentery. I could have let Gamma die of dysentery and gotten that trophy. I just didn't feel right losing a passenger and, paying for it in the final boss fight by not being able to complete the difficult run. So here we are at Safe Haven, and this will just take about 4 minutes of the minigame. Oh, first somebody gets grabbed, and thankfully I can get a headshot on the kidnapper, or the captor. Very tricky because the angle of that shot looks like it's going to kill your friend, but instead it kills the guy standing above him, which is, if you get that wrong, it feels horrible. It feels horrible shooting your own friend in the head accidentally, so you don't want to do that. All right, so this is the same mini game that you have to do at every run. Collect 8 cans of gas. You can collect 2 at a time. You can bring them back. I probably grab a few things of ammo, but with 247 bullets left, I'm not gonna need it. And also remember that your passengers can help shoot any of the zombies that are close to the car, but don't rely on them because you never know which ones they're going to shoot and when they're going to shoot. So keep that in mind. So what I decided here is just to pass by these two since they're so close, and we're going to grab the ones out on the edge. No, we're not. Okay. I think I was kind of planning out where all the remaining 6 gas cans were, and I decided let's get the furthest ones before things get crazy. And this, like I said, this worked out really well. On difficult, this didn't feel even as hard as some of my easy runs felt, you know? Maybe it was the fast movement that I got, that combat training that I just purchased in the previous stop. Or maybe it's just adrenaline or luck. Again, this entire run was so lucky. I barely, I barely had any health issues, for my character. There was very little sickness or disease that we had to struggle with. The zombie bites, I had 3 different passengers get bit by zombies, so it's not all luck. It wasn't all great times, and one of them, I had to take out early in the run. At least that's how I remember it. I have 1 dead passenger. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I'm pretty sure they got bit, and I either took them out or someone else took them out. I might have been in one of those captor situations where I accidentally shot them in the head instead of the kidnapper. Which again, it really stinks when that happens. But yeah, this was very lucky. This is a decent run. I also thought once I got the halfway through that I was going to start to see the kind of leaky zombies that leave a trail of green behind them, and they didn't show up. So, and I didn't get, grabbed at the corner of the screen like I thought I was going to. The fast movement is helping me kind of avoid getting too close to any zombies, and since I have so much ammo and so much extra time, though I'm a little close to the top of the screen, if a fast-moving zombie, the ones that I like to call boos, where they run up behind you, but if you're facing them, they stop. If one of those would have came out of the top of the screen, I might not have been able to react in time, and it would have stung. Because what happens here, like I'm holding the 2 gas cans, but if I would get grabbed before I got to the generator, I'd have to start with my next passenger and go all the way back out and grab those gas cans. So, really stinks. But again, this has happened in previous runs, and I believe I've probably talked through enough of how to do this bit on my live streams on YouTube. So here's finally the new zombie I've been talking about. And a fatty, a 2-shotter. So those trails of green do go away eventually. And here's, all I need to do is grab these last 2, and then we're safe. I end up walking through the trail because it doesn't disappear fast enough, and I know it's not going to kill me. So I don't want to get grabbed by this guy. So I just grit my teeth and I go through it. I don't know how many times you can walk into that green trail without dying. I think it hits your health a little bit, but that's it. So that's, the general way that the easy runs end, but on difficult, you get an extra boss fight with this octopus here. Or, yeah, I guess octopus, not squid. And first in the car, you have to avoid the tentacles. The car health is pretty decent. I think I do get hit once. Maybe twice, but you definitely get there. Oh, maybe I already got hit. So, I couldn't remember how this worked. And I realized, okay, shoot the tentacles, great. And then I should have shot the tentacle closest to me, and it does grab me. I really thought my run was over. I really thought that was it. That was the end of it. And I see myself lying here with broken legs, and I'm like, okay, maybe let's get going. And I think I'd have to go back and look. I think the instructions are a little mysterious in how they tell you to move. I think you need to actually use the L2 and R2 buttons to grab and move up. And kind of grip them like you were shooting both triggers, and just constantly move as fast as you can, because this little zombie, this little green bit on the car is going to start chasing after you, and then we're going to see an old friend and finally get to the finale. I'm pretty sure I could probably fail this if I didn't move fast enough. But at one point, you can't move any faster, and it's all part of the thrilling conclusion. But I don't know if I would have just stopped moving right there if the zombie would have reached me and ended the run. So I certainly didn't want to find out. And again, this is on Share Factory, so we are going to show you the trophy in a screenshot once it's awarded. And there's our old friend from the beginning of the story. And that is the end of the run. So there's your True Survivor trophy. And here's all the stats. Only one healthy party member. We had an incapacitated party member, and that was early on in the run, and I think we took them out because they were already incapacitated as a zombie bitten person. So I knew they were going to end up. In fact, I think that's exactly. I remember what happened. They bit Beta. They bit one of my other passengers before they died. So I didn't even take them out. So that's how that happened. So we had an incapacitated, zombie-bitten passenger who ended up passing on, but before they died, or after they died, I guess, they bit one of our other passengers, but we kept that passenger and the other passenger who randomly got bitten alive for this finale and in good health. And in the end, we didn't need anybody, so I could have probably let them die. But it's always good to have friends, right? So this is the fun little credit mini game that you get. You don't have to stick around to see all of this because it's the same for every run, and you don't really get anything for killing all hitting as many zombies as you can with the car. But it is kind of a fun way to end, and it's a fun credit sequence. So, as I said, the last thing to do here now is to do one final run, and hopefully we'll have someone die of dysentery and I will get bitten by a zombie. In a perfect world, that'll happen right before we hit the finale, and I'll be able to complete the finale without dying from that zombie bite, and then I can get all 3 trophies in the final playthrough. But I may have to do 2 playthroughs, one where I get bit by a zombie and another one that is a successful completion of a run, because we just need to complete 5 full runs. So that will be coming up next, and I'm probably going to stream that on Twitch. Imaginary_completionist is my handle there. Probably going to stream that on Twitch, add commentary with this microphone, and record that whole thing and put it up on YouTube afterwards with my capture card, so that you can see hopefully all 3 trophies that I get as I play. And if not, then we'll go back. We'll get the final trophies that I need, and then I'll just throw up a quick video showing those things being completed and executed. I hope this run taught you something. I hope you were entertained, and that my commentary didn't bore you to death, as sometimes I do seem to love to talk on and on. But I hope you learned something. I certainly learned something from this run, and I learned something from a comment that somebody made on a previous video that helped me immensely. I think half of the reason I got through this run was because of that advice, and the other half was a great deal of luck. So you may not be so lucky if you do a difficult run, but don't be discouraged if everything looks like the chips are stacked against you. There's always a second try on difficult that you can do, and eventually you will get through it. We will be cutting it short here on the commentary because there's not much else to say. And I do appreciate you tuning in and watching this video. Hope it helped. Take care.